Hello people, welcome to the channel CrustG-G, where today we're going to be adding more to the TV and movie mass multiverse web. We're going to be taking a bit of a break from filling out anything I missed in previous parts, which is what I've been doing since episode 100, aside from a few different things here and there. And I'm going to fill in some things from requests / help from the comments. Specifically, this one is from Bengen the Nintendo Kid. Sorry if I butchered that. 3028. Thank you. I'm gonna be going off of... where am I? Over here somewhere. Danger Force. Because apparently there was more off of the Henry Danger connections. First up is Side Hustle from 2020. Danger Force, the group, appears in the episode When Worlds Collide, but also that might also be called That Young Warped Danger Hustle. I'm not entirely sure what the crossover event is called, but it was also called When Worlds Collide in the main source that I got these from. Sorry. Side Hustle 2020. Okay. Next up is a connection to Side Hustle through to That Girl Lele from 2021. A Make-A-Mutt from this show appears on this show. But then, well, that was first. Later on, Lele and Sadie from this show appeared in the Side Hustle episode When Worlds Collide, but the other one happened first, so I will connect that instead. I think that one happened first. I am not entirely positive. (2021). Oh. Amazon's here, outside the door. I've been doing Christmas shopping. Right now it's only December 4th, and I've already got everything I need. Well, ordered anyways. I've got a lot of things that have already come, but my shopping is pretty much done, just waiting for the deliveries. This way. There we go. Then Side Hustle also connects to Warped from 2022. Milo and Ruby, might be these two, I'm not sure, appear in the episode When Worlds Collide, which is why the alternate name is also called That Young Warped Danger Hustle. Young is still yet to be seen in this video. Also, this show did not last long. It was only a couple of months. Okay. Then lastly for this crossover event is Young Dylan, also called Tyler Perry's Young Dylan, from 2020. Dylan appears in When Worlds Collide. It also has multiple connections to That Girl Lele. I guess they go over onto each other's shows pretty often. I'm not positive. Young Dylan. There we go. Now, back down to Danger Force. Oh, real quick. So, it would be that young, warped danger hustle. I was way too slow with that. I kept losing where I was in my notes. Okay, Danger Force also connects to the Really Loud House. I've never even watched the original Loud House, and they already have a live-action remake for it? That's weird. And I couldn't really tell. I think it's I don't think they connect to each other. Like, this is a full-on reboot. They don't connect the Really Loud House. It's not like a continuation of the cartoon, just a reboot entirely. And I'm not sure. I think there was also a live-action Christmas movie that came out before this, but I don't see how those really connect to this either. I need to make more room. Hold on. Yeah, leave it like that. Oh, how does this connect? The fictional social media platform ClickClock appears in both, first appearing in Danger Force, I think. That's what I found anyways. Okay, same with ClickClock. Also shows up in The Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder from 2022. I'm not sure if the movies would connect here to the original series or not at all, so I won't connect those. Like the ones starring Drake Bell as Timmy Turner. Oh, come on, where was I? My notes just... Okay. Oh, I just realized. Fairly Odd Parents are right here. I mean, of course, I think the movies, I didn't watch all of them. I think I watched the first one. Only connects, uh, sorry, excuse me. What was I saying? I don't think the movies really connect because the last one ends up with Timmy dying and becoming a fairy. Yeah. I watched a video on YouTube about it, not watched it myself. Anyways. Right, that was a connection through ClickClock, same as the Really Loud House. Moving on, we're going over to Zoe 101. Right here. Because it had a spin-off slash revival movie, Zoe 102. Maybe not revive. I don't know how. Whatever. They came out this year? Wow. There we go. Alright. Now I'm gonna just mention this. I'm not adding it, but Bengen. Maybe I should. Maybe Nintendo Kid. Okay. He. They mentioned Doug Days or Up getting a spin-off called Carl's Date. I'm just kind of lumping that in along with Doug Days, especially since at the beginning of the short episode starts with the Doug Days intro. So I'm just counting that as a part of Doug Days entirely. If it didn't start with the same intro, I would have gladly added it. Love Doug Days and love Up, but it does just seem like it should be added on to this Doug Days playlist in Disney Plus. But we are still going over to that area, so let's zoom out. Oh, and we are officially done with all of Nintendo Kid's connections that he found for me. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate the help. Where am I? There we go. Okay. Going over to Aladdin. This is something that I've been wanting to add for a while now. Aladdin's already on, obviously, but something I have been really searching for a while connects through Aladdin. So, and maybe you don't agree with it. It might be iffy, but I am so excited for this already. I also moved Aladdin. It used to be down in here, but that clearly cuts it off from giving me any more room to work with. So I moved it over here. It's still connected to Sophia the First the same way it was before. Anyways. Aladdin connects to Jake and the Neverland Pirates through one specific episode. Okay. The main characters find a lamp. It looks exactly like Genie's lamp. Not just that, but it is the main point of the entire episode. Captain Hook steals the lamp from them and tries to rub it to get a genie to come out to grant his wishes. But it sucks him in instead and makes him become the genie that's tied to the lamp. So, given the fact that it's an empty lamp that looks exactly like Genie's and is clearly magical, it is pretty clear to be Genie's lamp from Aladdin, you know? I watched the end of the movie too, and I don't see what actually happened to the lamp itself. And then, of course, the shop owner, maybe? From the beginning of the movie ends up having it, and then in the sequel, Aladdin and Jasmine talk to that guy. It could have ended up nearly anywhere. It could have ended up in Neverland. Why not? But anyways, I'm off track. Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I'm gonna zoom this out over here though, so that I have more room to work with in the future, just in case. (2011) started anyways. Now, this is arguably just a a nod to things too, but it does line up pretty well. It makes sense to me, so I'm not going to be counting every single Easter egg I ever find, especially when it comes to animation. But this is pretty solid in my opinion. And I've been known to bend the rules for things I want to add anyways. Moving on. Jake and the Neverland Pirates is a spin-off of the Peter Pan movies. I'm gonna branch it off of the original. Believe Peter Pan also shows up once in a while. I never watched this series, but it was on once in a while when I was just bored in the morning. I was probably doing something else, just waiting for the later day Disney shows to come on, like on weekends or something. Peter Pan. Okay. What? Come on. Then Peter Pan had a sequel, Return to Neverland. I think just Return to Neverland was the original title. I'm just going to use that anyways. Easier for me. 2002. And then there was another spin-off. Nope, here. With the Tinkerbell movies. Starting with Tinkerbell from 2008. Pretty much just... You know what? Okay, it's gonna go down then. Over here. Then it had a ton of sequels, so let's keep going from there. Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure. Control copy. There we go. From 2009. Onward is Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue from 2010. We haven't gotten to what I was so excited for this episode and yet, just so you know. Control V. Anyways, Onward, Pixie Hollow Games from 2011, a spin-off television special. Then there's the next sequel in Secret of the Wings. You know, I think if they had kept going with this series, they would have eventually had done a prequel story of Tinkerbell meeting Peter Pan, but they didn't keep going. I mean, after this they did, but anyways, I think they should have. Pixie Hollow Bake Off from 2013. Spin-off TV special. Then there's The Pirate Fairy, 2014. And then lastly, for the Tinkerbell movies, Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Nether Beast. That's a mouthful. (2014). Also, and unless I'm missing anything, I do think that is all from the Disney Fairies franchise. So moving back on to Peter Pan and connecting something that I've wanted to connect for so long and I couldn't find any real connections. This is pretty much the only thing that I could find. If you guys can find anything stronger, I would really appreciate it to connect this franchise. And that is Stitch from 2008, the anime. This is the second ever anime I think I've added to this list. The first being the Powerpuff Girls anime, Powerpuff Girls Z. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. Because I know that that's coming to an end soonish. I didn't think that I've been going on for that long, but whatever. Stitch, the anime. It's gonna go out over here. Now, there's gonna be a bit of controversy about me adding that, but this is pretty much the only way I could find that this connects, and I was so happy about it that I don't care. But if there is a better way to connect this series, please let me know. Peter Pan over to Stitch. Because TikTok Croc from Peter Pan appears in Stitch. And I mean, if kids never get old in Neverland, then shouldn't that apply to the animals too? Why not? He could have escaped Neverland. Whatever. Then this one is also a bit iffy. because in one wiki I saw that, I'll just show what it is first. Stitch and I, a possible spin-off. It is a spin-off of the original series, but I'm gonna count this. Both series within themselves can be seen as canon to the original franchise, the movies, the Lilo and Stitch the series, and nothing outright denies that they both take place in the same universe, in the same timeline. The only thing is that in Stitch, Lilo was revealed to be grown up, and in this series, which was released later, Stitch was kidnapped from Lilo when she was still younger, I think. But this isn't the first time in this franchise that you'd have to watch things out of order in order for the timeline to make sense, and I'll get to that later. So I'm gonna count this, and nothing can stop me from connecting all of this together. Stitch, and that's not the right letter. I. 2017. But again, the reason I'm connecting it this way is because of the release years, the release dates. Hold on. Yeah, Stitch and I is going above Stitch. This way. Excuse me. Moving on. What came out before this was this is Stitch Meets High School Musical from 2007. It's pretty much just a video of the characters from the series playing basketball together and dancing to get your head in the game, I think, from High School Musical. It's no crossover or anything that doesn't make sense. It could definitely take place in universe, so especially since Gantu becomes good at the end of the series. Well, good. He just changes sides. If you don't count Stitch the anime, because he goes right back to it. And it was pretty much just advertising for High School Musical 2. Excuse me. Moving on to Leroy and Stitch. It is the finale to the series I have not added yet, but I will in a second. From 2006. Moving on to The Origin of Stitch from 2005. It's a spin-off just showing kind of how Jumba created Stitch. Oh, interesting for me, is that this Stitch and I actually seems to be more preferred to be canon, especially since they have multiple flashbacks to the different things in the past. They show clips from The Origin of Stitch, I believe. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch. and different scenes from the original movie. And I think Stitch has more connections to his cousins and things from the TV series. So maybe if you wanted to count them as separate timelines, then it would go Lilo and Stitch 2, then to Stitch and I. But then Stitch is Lilo and Stitch the movie, Lilo and Stitch the series, Lilo and Stitch the series, then Stitch. And then there's some side ones that could go either way. Obviously, Origin of Stitch would still be with Stitch and I, but it could also be, whatever. Anyways, I'm counting it all as one timeline because there's nothing really saying that they can't all be in the same timeline. Oh, where am I? Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch. This was the first movie that I can remember that got me to tear up, like, at the end of the movie. Now, I'm not saying I never cried at any movies, because I was a kid. I could have cried just from being scared at a scary movie, But this one just genuinely sad tears came out, not scared tears. Where you? Oh, come on. There. Then before that came Lilo and Stitch the series, kind of, not in timeline order, but in release order. Loved watching this in the morning before going to school. 2005. Come on. Then before that is Stitch the movie, also from 2003. It is the pilot movie to the series. Sets up the main premise for the rest of the series here. Nope, wrong way. What am I doing? Jeez, I am not doing this right. Okay, so I'm gonna explain this now. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch, if watched in timeline order, should go before Stitch the movie. Because in 2, well, first of all, it's the second movie, and it's not the second movie, it's the third movie, and it's called 2, so it should be before Stitch the movie. But, also, none of the experiments appear in this movie. If they did, then it would take place after the movie, Stitch the movie, and within the timeline of the series, but also in Stitch the movie and in Lilo and Stitch the series, they don't have the futuristic elevator thing that goes up to their room, to their up to their room, their dome, rooftop dome. I think that's what they call it. So, I guess sometime after Lilo and Stitch 2, they renovate and give them the more of the stuff for the movie and series. Where am I going? Oh yeah. Then, and this is clearly what I've been trying to get to, this Lilo and Stitch stuff. I love that series. I love the movies, all of it. Back now on to the one that started it all, Lilo and Stitch from 2002. Okay. And we're still not done. This is going to be going for a little bit longer. First of all, back up to Lilo and Stitch the series. Because it connects to 4 different shows. Multiple crossovers within them. First off, the Proud Family. That wasn't the first one that came up, but I just put it down first, I guess. From 2001, through a crossover episode, the experiment that of the episode uh, made people, 2 different people fight, angry at each other, argue and everything, and they figure out they have to count to 10 to calm down, to stop the effect. Two 2001. Nope, it goes the other way. Okay, then there is the Proud Family movie, which is kind of iffy putting this on here, and I'll explain why in a second. But it is definitely good enough for me. Because when it came out, obviously they were planning on it to be canon. I think also the finale to the series here. But now with the, I think it's a continuation. I don't know for sure. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, from 2022. Possibly a sequel series to the original. Now, I also read that the movie was retconned into being a dream in one of the episodes, but even if that did that, that means that it still happened in someone's mind, kind of, and still, you know, it's good enough for me. It'd be like the same thing as watching a movie, seeing the character sit down to watch a movie, and then the movie that they're watching is what the actual movie is. That counts for me. Nope. go. Alright, back to Lilo and Stitch the series. Also going to be adding Kim Possible because of a crossover episode. Pleakley emails Kim to help them because somebody kidnapped Stitch. That somebody ending up being her nemesis, Dr. Draken, who's now taking orders from Hamsterville. Or working with, whatever. And Jumba thinks that Rufus is an experiment, which is proven false, but I'm not sure if it's because because I think it's later things, A Stitch in Time, which will be added on in a second, reveals that Rufus aged. Ron got him at a very young age before the experiments became a thing on Earth, really. Anyways. Obviously they didn't have that planned out entirely when the episode came out. Or Ron just didn't think to say it. Say that he had Rufus from a young age. Whatever. 2002. There we go. Now, obviously, Kim Possible, 2 movies. First, yeah, this doesn't say A Stitch in Time, but this is what the picture I got from IMDb, I believe. I also think that it just became part of the series. They just split it up into multiple episodes and put it out as a part of a season. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Then after that is Kim Possible movie, which is weird. Why wouldn't they put the before that? So the Drama from 2005. Spin-off movie, also originally meant to be the series finale, but they decided to give another season that takes place after the movie. Fun fact. – 2005. Go. Now, back over to Lilo and Stitch the series. And that connects to American Dragon Jake Long. Again, through a crossover episode. I believe it was episode Morpholomew. Again, fun fact, Spud from American Dragon named the experiment this time. Lilo wanted to call him Changer. Oh, it was an experiment that can change people to look like anything he could see. It can see? Whatever. And Jake Long doesn't really connect to anything else either, except for one other thing that I'll get to in a bit. There we go. You know what? Make this a little easier for a later thing. Excuse me. Lilo and Stitch also connects through another crossover episode with Recess from 1997. And these crossover episodes I'm recalling from memory because I didn't write down what the episodes were about in my notes. This one, I believe the experiment made people lazy and not want to do work so that they, well, from Jumba's words, the the people of the planet wouldn't be able to fight back against invasion or something like that. Anyways, moving on. Recess had a few spin-offs slash movies. First, Recess School's Out from 2001. Next up, Recess Christmas Miracle on 3rd Street. A sequel, but it's really just a compilation of episodes. But again, it also has some new scenes that tie them together. Like people are telling stories about what happened in those episodes. So I'll count it, especially since there are new scenes. So why not? Then there's another one uh, in the same vein as this one. Recess All Growed Up from 2003. It's the same scenario. People are telling stories about things, but there are new scenes, segments from previous episodes, but it's fine. Why not? think I might have to start wrapping up here soon. Then, lastly, for the recess stuff, kind of, there is recess taking the 5th grade. Again, it is still it is still separate segments, different episodes tied in as a movie, but they are new episodes entirely. New segments, new content entirely. And it serves as the series finale. Fun fact, it also came out on the same day as All Growed Up. Growed Down. What? Hold up. I'm dumb. But anyways, especially since this takes place as a finale, why not put it at the end rather than between? (2003). Now, a few things connect to this next thing, but I branched it off in my notes to recess. First, I'll say what it is. Fillmore, and everywhere else I see there's an exclamation point on this, so I'm gonna put an exclamation point there. Specifically because Ashley Spinelli from Recess, appears in the school. No. 2002. Then so does Kim Possible. And Ingrid Third from Fillmore appears in American Dragon Jake Long in the at Jake's Halloween party. But then also Kim Possible also connects to American Dragon Jake Long. There, like that. Bring it down. Because cheerleaders, and they are specifically called cheerleaders. I know it's a Halloween party, but I don't know. Cheerleaders dressed in the outfits, uniforms from Kim Possible's school are seen at Jake's Halloween party. And you know, since all of these are pretty much connected anyways, it might as well, you know? Anyways, where was I? After Fillmore. Last thing. And I'll have to continue it on next time, actually. Recess connects to Winnie the Pooh. And I specifically chose And the Honey Tree because it's the first one. And it was easier than figuring out which thing came out later. Or around the time that episode came out. In the episode Bachelor Gus. And since in the Disney version, at the very least, I think in the books too, but it looks like the version from the Disney's stuff. I don't know. Owl is meant to be a real animal and not just a toy like Pooh Bear and Eeyore and Tigger, I think. Owl and rabbit, I think, are meant to be real animals that can just talk and interact with the toys. I don't know. But since he is a real animal and can go off and do whatever he wants, not just stay in the 100-acre wood, I definitely will count this. I mainly counted it because that was the direction that I was going to be trying to add a connection to Lilo and Stitch in. Because that's the only way I could figure it out, but the only other thing other than Winnie the Pooh and Recess that this can connect to... What? Other than other Winnie the Pooh stuff and Recess is another thing that does not connect to anything else, which I will be adding next time also. Let me get this in here now. Excuse me. 1966, it was a theatrical short. And what I believe to be the first of the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. Also, I had to make sure that Owl actually appeared in this one, and there he is, right there, name and everything. Anyways. Whew. This was a long one that I had fun with, though. Especially after I actually found the connection that I wanted with to get Lilo and Stitch, the series, Lilo and Stitch in general, in here. I am so happy. But I'm going to leave this video here for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go leave a like on the video. If you didn't, there's another button for that. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, be notified whenever I upload. Again, thank you from, I'm going to butcher it again, Bengen the Nintendo Kid 3028 for your help and for your suggestions to add stuff on here. I appreciate it. If I added anything you think I shouldn't have, or if I missed anything I should have added, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate the help, but until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Goodbye.